All right. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Once again, it is your brew. That's me, Bon Shemayim, back with another one. My back is hurting me right now, so today's video won't be that long. It's actually going to be about my disease and what I'm going through. Not really just about me. I've been trying to look for a community, y'all. I'm going through this and I don't have anybody to talk to about it. Nobody who's ever went through it. It's hard to find a community of people that I could be like, hey, so do you feel this or do you feel that or how do you deal with this or anything like that. The doctors don't know and I don't have a community. So that's what this video is about, is my disease, which is spinal dural arteriovenous fistula. Okay. And I was looking on Reddit, right? And we're gonna read each of these. This was 5 years ago. This is saying I had, which you don't never get rid of this disease. So I don't believe he's using that properly, but we'll go into it because I saw pictures. I think I've saw this on people's bodies before, and I never knew what it was, right? So if this is the truth, so this right here, I'm guessing, is a fistula. That's at least. Let's go back out. Yeah. You see, it's under arteriovenous fistula. So I guess this is what was happening to my spine, because my vein that they had to cut was in my spine. And I guess this is how it clots itself up, because they say eventually, I guess it could clot itself up. But a lot of the times, by the time it does that, you're already paralyzed, right? So I just wanted to show that, because this one does say arteriovenous fistula. Uh, this is another one. This is kind of more like what mine looked like if you would have saw it on the MRI. It wasn't exactly in the same areas, but this is kind of like what my fistula was looking like in my body. Okay. It says arteriovenous fistula aneurysm. So I guess these are aneurysms of an fistula, and I'm guessing the aneurysm means that they clogged up, because the fistula is really like a vein coming off of your artery. So I'm assuming once the vein gets too much blood, it clogs up. And it looks like all of these people had them. It looks like these are arm pictures. I could be wrong. Some could be a leg, but to me, they all look like they're arm pictures. So people who had the fistula in their arm. Okay. I believe this is a person who had it in their brain, right? I've watched my 13-year-old daughter suffer the last 6 months because male doctors thought she was faking her symptoms, said it was conversion disorder, get her psychological help. In actuality, they missed a congenital artery abnormality on her CTA in the neck. So hers was in the neck. That is the cause of her issue. Edit to add. I understand functional neurological disorders are a real thing and it's not a patient faking. For me, she had what appeared to be a stroke after she slammed her head, and then all this started. They couldn't say what caused her stroke like symptoms and why all this started. And that's when we kept getting conversion disorder, attention seeking. Advocate for your loved ones. I sometimes wonder if my husband had been the one to take her or been there, if we would have been dismissed so easily. My 13-year-old slammed her head on the concrete floor on NYE. 3 days later, she had a stroke-like symptoms, but stroke was ruled out. Then started an onslaught of intermittent neurological symptoms and pain. The biggest one being a twitch that forces her head to turn left, but was partially controllable with sensory triggers and stops when she falls asleep. It says every imaging test was normal. That's what happened to me too. That like all my imaging tests were normal. They said that there is no cause for her pain, no reason for her symptoms. 6 months of fighting with doctors to check her neck. Well, not exactly. They said I had some slip disc. Looked further into it and got nowhere other than conversion disorder, even with proof that her symptoms were reliant on physical position of her neck. It's because she's a teenage girl. It's for attention. It's anxiety. It's because of stress at school. She's faking and doing it on purpose. All while her symptoms got worse. And I went through this too. At a point in time, once they found out I just had this messed up in my back, they thought I was faking it. All the time, my symptoms got worse up until I went paralyzed for like 6 hours. And then, like, of course, when I got out of surgery, I had to pretty much was paralyzed, had to relearn how to do everything again. It says she started to struggle to hold her head up. And that's what I do. I struggle to stand up or to sit up like in this chair, right? I found a PT and they started working on her neck. It was extremely weak. 4 months later, a lot of her symptoms are now well managed, but she still has flare ups. I've joined numerous groups and post symptoms anywhere to try to find help. A kind stranger offered to look at her imaging. Then he asked what they made of her vascular abnormality in the back of her neck. Then sent me a 3D render to show her neurologist. They somehow missed that she has a blob of vessel or arteries wrapped around her C1, C2. See, I had a blob of vessels wrapped around my spine. I think it's T6 and T5, right? I forwarded it to her neurologist and asked, "What is it?" He had no idea and got in touch with a vascular specialist. Pending further imaging, they believe when she hit her head, she got whiplash and weakened and injured the ligaments in her neck. Because she has this congenital abnormality, the instability from the injury compressed the artery and is causing her symptoms. All of her symptoms fit under vertebral artery compression. This scan is from back in January. It was read as normal. Then we were told, both her neurologist at the time and orthopedic surgeon, that there was nothing wrong with her neck, no physical reason for her issue. Get her counseling. It's psychological. My daughter has an extreme fear of doctors and will lie about pain and her symptoms because they won't believe her anyways. We see a vascular specialist this week and will get new imaging done to find out exactly what can be done. Right, so she goes on to talk about how this was actually a fistula that she had in her neck, right? Or not a fistula, that was a compression. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see this. Okay, obviously nothing was posted in there. So we're going to go to this one. And this is going to be my final one that I read. I had spinal dural arteriovenous fistula. Now, what I found out is you never get rid of this disease. They don't know about it. It's a disease. It never goes away. It can stop the same way it wasn't going at first. It can stop going. It can blot itself up. But it can always come back and expand and go into different areas because it's a disease, right? So, this was done 5 years ago. I had spinal dural arteriovenous fistula. What he means is he still has one, right? And that is just where the fun began. Kidding, seriously kidding. The thing, this ticking time bomb, blood vessel malformation, whatever you want to call it, it kicked my ass literally. I am still disabled from it because he's still stuck with the disease. I've had the surgery, but the surgery doesn't stop the disease. It stops you from going paralyzed. Okay. When it happened, I was paralyzed from the waist down for a week. No one who knew, it says, no one knew what was wrong with me. At one hospital, they speculated I had MS and were prepared to send me home with a bunch of, what is that? Prednisone? Prednisone? I don't know what that is, how to pronounce that. I'm probably butchering it. Fortunately, I got to another hospital where they confirmed via spinal angiogram. That's what I had, which confirmed. And I'm about to have another one to see if another one has regrown or if the one I got that they cut came back. That's my next big test, is a angiogram. That I had a spinal dural arteriovenous fistula. I forget what vertebrae the location was, but it was the lower part of my back. Mine was like in the middle, T6, T5, like I was saying. My fistula self-clotted, but not before it damaged part of my spinal cord. So I live with knee, knee what is that? Nephrothopany, incontinence, nothing like being, and this is the thing. They give you these names, and I don't think this is it. I've learned from these doctors don't know much about this disease. And from what I've learned from doing the research and talking to the few people who did know anything, this is a disease. It's not going to go away. So him being diagnosed with nephropathy and incontinence, I believe that's really just the onset of like the doctor was telling me, you still gonna have the symptoms of this disease, but this surgery should stop you from going paralyzed. His fistula self-clotted itself. My fistula didn't. I had to get it clipped. I was going paralyzed, right? Nothing like being able to control when you have to drop a deuce. So like when you have to go number 2 and not being able to pee properly, which I still experience that currently, right? So he's saying he no longer deals with that. I deal with it, but slightly. Like I can go use the restroom when I want to, but it takes forever. I'm normally not able to finish. Sometimes I go when I don't want to go, number 1, not number 2. Number 2, I can always hold it till I gotta go, but on number 1. And then sometimes I go to try to go and nothing comes out. And that's what I've been dealing with the most lately. It's like you can feel you gotta go. Like you're about to go on yourself, but like it's just not working. Nothing's coming out, right? So I guess that's what he's talking about is with the incontinence or nothing like he don't have those symptoms no more, right? But these are symptoms he do have, right? Partial foot paralysis or drop foot, right? And I think that's what I have. I think I didn't know what the medical term for it, but like now I go to my knee a lot. My left leg gets super weak, and sometimes like I'll go to walk and it's just like not there. Like I have no strength to hold it, and then boom, I go right to the ground, right? So partial foot paralysis, drop foot, which like I said, I think I got that. I definitely have the leg weakness and arm weakness, right? All on my left side. In the most agonizing assortment of pain you can imagine. And I still have that. Like burning, tingling, shocking, numbness, unable to feel the skin. It feels weird sometimes. Just everything you can imagine. It never stops. It's always just a new feeling. I've gotten used to dealing with the feelings. That's how I make these videos, but it never stops, right? So let's go through what he said. Partial foot paralysis, drop foot, leg weakness, and the most agonizing assortments of pain you can imagine. If any one day it feels like my legs and butt, and that's what's going on right now as I'm sitting in this chair, my legs and butt, right? The parts I can feel are being electrocuted every few seconds, and that's kind of what's going on, the electrocution, the tingling, and the burning, right? On fire, burning from the cold, right? And that's what's crazy because you feel like cold drops, like somebody dropping cold water on you periodically, and then it'll be a instant burn behind it. So I absolutely understand what he's saying. Ants, the whole works, right? So like I already don't like bugs, and it's weird because I like lately just been knocking nothing off of me because I just be feeling like something's crawling on me or something's on me, right? I also have tremors in one particular muscle group. I'm on medication for it all, but it turns me zombie like, and that's the truth. Like I'm on gabapentin, and it's like being on heroin for real. Like I'm not there. I can be up and then I'll be asleep. I could be up playing a game and I'll go to sleep and wake up with the game in my hand and everything. It's like nodding off on heroin or something, right? But the weirdest part about this whole shit show is the part of my leg that I can feel. The skin sometimes feels like it stretches to the breaking point. It's the weirdest sensation. And that's the sensation. It's like that's what I say. Like right here. I don't know if y'all can see this. Let me show you. Okay. So like right up under here, I can't feel this part. Like I can feel that something's touching me, but I can't feel it. It's a weird sensation. But once I get down to here, this part feels that same way. Like my skin is just like stretching, right? and it hurts too. Like and it stuff isn't supposed to hurt to the touch, but when you pull it, it literally gives a pain sensation, right? Feels like it stretches to the breaking point. It is the weirdest sensation. It feels like countless gallons of water are trapped just beneath the skin, stretching down to the floor of that skin and oozing across the bed. I need to pull back the covers or pant leg to check on things, and I do that a lot, just looking to see if what's wrong, right? When I look straight at it, the feeling goes away, but not always. Even touching it with my hand, I can feel a normal leg, but my leg is still telling me that it's bloated and ready to pop. And I definitely get that feeling. Like I say, on my side, up under my shoulder, and in my back, up under my shoulder, I get that too. uh, the first time it happened, I thought I was experiencing the human version of a blue screen of death. And almost lost my shit. Seriously, I thought my entire nervous system was crashing. I was off the hook confused. I get the agonizing pain is normal for spinal damage, but what about the weird sensation and textures? Bruh, I've kind of gotten as used, I guess, as I can to the weird sensations and textures. But the pain and the inability to move or do things is what really frustrates me, right? Not of being able to get up and stand for long. I've been working out like crazy. Like I feel like I'm getting so much stronger and so much in better shape, but I still can't stand up for long. I still can't sit for long, right? So I had to take breaks in between these videos. I go lay down for like 10, 20 minutes and I get up and try to record the next video. I try to do it all in one day because if I did this every day, I might not be able to sit in this chair for the next week. I've had that happen when making the videos, right? It says, I am under the care of a neurologist, but there is not much they can do at this point except pain management since my fistula clotted by itself after the damage was done. Trust me, brother, if you listening to this, our medical or whatever your name is, if you actually peep my channel or something, if you watching this, let me tell you, there's nothing they could do anyways. The doctors did what they could do for me. Yours blotted itself up. Mine, they clipped. All they could do now is keep running angiograms and make sure they do run them angiograms so you could check and see if it comes back or sparks off from another area. Because they'll let you go through it, then you'll end up being paralyzed, right? Just curious if other people with spinal cord damages experience the same thing and what, if any, med pros out there might have to contribute. And there was none spoken about this. I found this today. That's why I made this video. I am going to speak on this. I'm going to write this guy and talk about it. Now, let me talk about my experience. Like I say, it can fool you because I can fool you. I have a high pain tolerance. So I can fool you about like what I'm going through and like how I'm feeling. I could definitely fool you because I have a super high pain tolerance, but it's hard. There's some days I can't get up. And like if I manage it, get up, manage my time, take a knee, the falls are bad because if you fall, then when you get back in that bed, you really can't get up normally because of the fall. But if like I can feel kind of like this burning, tingling sensation in my leg, and it almost like it gets a little shake to it. I guess that's my warning. Sometimes my lower back too. And those give me warning signs like that sharp pain in my lower back. It gives me a warning sign. And it's crazy because you would think like it's in your lower back by like I call my hips or tailbone region. Why what would that have to do with your leg? But I'm telling you, when I get that pain or the tingling and stuff in my leg as I'm standing or walking, I have to go to a knee and let that go away. And normally when I go to a knee, it hurts my back more, but it kind of allows my leg to re-strengthen for whatever reason. Like I say, there's nobody to talk to about this. I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. But it's important because let me tell you, if I get up and don't take that knee, I'm gonna fall. And then I'll fall, and sometimes I can't get up after I fall. I lay on the floor 3 or 4 hours by myself. My mom's 75, y'all. So I'm not about to have my mom come in here and try to lift me up being 200 and something pounds. It's gonna be impossible. She gonna call the ER, and I'm not. I hate hospitals. I hate hospitals. So, like, I hate hospitals. Okay. Dang, my bad. I shook the camera up a little bit. But yeah, this was the video. It's about spinal dural arteriovenous fistula. If there's anybody, if you know anybody dealing with this, please let them contact me. I am trying to find people who are dealing with this or have dealt with it so I can talk to them, because this is a lot. I have faith and I believe I'm going to overcome this. I just need somebody to communicate with that's went through it. It's kind of like you in a dark room trying to find which way out, right? And you got like 100 million acres, and there's one opening, and on the other side of the opening is dark. So you couldn't. There's no light even coming from the opening that could give you an idea of where to go or what to do. So if you know anybody going through this, let them know that I made this video so I could talk to them. Have them reach out to me or give me their information. I'll reach out to them because I really would like to talk to somebody who knows about this. Rather, even if you're a professional, if a person who watches this is a professional at this, please contact me and give me your information so I could contact you. Maybe I could start coming to see you or something, because I don't know enough about this and I'm really trying to fight this. I've gotten in so much better shape in the last 3 months since I've been able to do the little bit, and I have to space it out. So my workouts are like 30 seconds to 40 seconds a pop, and I'll spread them out and do 5 to 10 workouts or 10 to 20 workouts throughout the day. But anyways, this is the video. I want to end the video by saying Kaula Haya by Shimmy Shaya, which is all praises to the Most High in the name of His Son. If you liked the video, or if you didn't, hit that like button, right? Hit the subscribe button and share this, especially if you think you know somebody going through this or who have went through it. I would really appreciate that. So I just want to say Shalom, which is peaceful greetings, because we're about to end this, and Barakatah, which is bless you. On that note, peace out. Into the next time. Love y'all. Barakatah.